Hey Libras, welcome back to Deku Tarot. Welcome to your April 2020 reading. So I have a bunch of big announcements actually at the end of the video. If you want to get 30% off of any astrology chart, compatibility chart, or a numerology reading, you can check out trulydivine.com. Use the code DECU30. And again, I'll announce that at the end, along with a giveaway, as well as some discounted prices for all of my readings for the time being due to the coronavirus situation. So stick around at the end for those announcements. And again, all the info on booking a reading, on how to get a discount on your charts on trulydivine.com. All of that's always in the description box below this video. So Libras, let's get right into your reading here. And if you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to check out your yearlies. Do make sure to check out your readings again for also your rising sign, especially your moon sign. And if this isn't your sun sign, check out your sun sign too and see how they all fit. I often find my rising sign is really, really helpful. So let's check this out here. We have the Gustav Klimt deck out, and we also have the Tarot Mucha. And I don't know, I'm kind of drawn to use both of them for you guys. So we already have a couple of cards out here in terms of where you guys are coming from, moving from March into April. And interestingly, I mean, not interestingly enough, there's a lot of longing, needing to push forward right now with the energy that we're in and the things that have been happening. So I'm not really surprised to see some of these cards here, like the Six of Cups. We're longing for change. Some of you could be thinking, God, I wish I could just have life go back to the way it was. I wish things could go back to a more comfortable way. I had all these things set out. I had them planned. I was doing all this stuff. And now it kind of seems thrown up in the air. So when you get the Six of Cups, for me, often, first of all, sixes as a reader for me are all about being on your right path forward, on your higher self, saying it's okay right now, but you need to start moving forward here. Three of Wands in combination with the Six of Cups. We would like to see things progress. Yes, we're trying to take action moving forward based on what we have seen and based on what has been happening. So again, you have been looking at this. You have been looking for the best path forward. What are we going to do? What will your next steps forward be? I'm getting for a lot of you in terms of a job, you might have kind of reached a point where, I want to change. I want to shift career paths. I want to shift jobs. I want a change there. I want a major change. And now all this stuff has come up, and it might even be giving you a very good opportunity actually to start making some of those moves forward. But you can't get too bogged down by the past and your responsibilities there. What was, having this longing, this sense of nostalgia for maybe even a really good team that you work with. Maybe you really like a lot of your colleagues, but you don't like your boss. Maybe you like what you do, but again, you don't like the way the place is run. It kind of feels like that to me. There's some aspect of your life that you really would like to shift, that you would really like to see grow and change. And for some of you, I also get the feeling you would like to move. And that's really been on your mind here. And you're like, okay, oh, yep. And as I say that, this is definitely in your focus this month is Eight of Wands. You want to move. You want things to start progressing. You want to be busy again. We want progression. We want communication. Whatever it is that you're waiting for, you're looking, yep. You would like progression with work. You want things to change. I don't even think I need to really go into that anymore because both of these cards flipped right out here. The Eight of Wands and then the Knight of Pentacles. We want progression with what we have planted, with, the seeds that we have, that we have sown, the seeds that we have planted. We want to see them grow. So some of you could be, starting out all these new different projects that actually bring you passion, that also could end up bringing you career, in terms of career growth, money, sustenance, taking those next steps there, and maybe even making a side hustle or a passion into something that is real and profitable. We're thinking about long term here, and we would love to see some progression there. We want to start working towards it. So there's a lot of this busyness, energy, communication, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. And I would say, don't let the past, first of all, bog you down by, maybe, people saying, oh, well, we really like you and we really want you to continue working here. We really, love your talents. They could say all the right things, but there's just something to me that feels like you need to start pushing forward, and you kind of know that. You've kind of looked at the past and you're like, okay, that was great, but I think now we're ready to start moving on, moving forward. So let's pull a card for your theme of the month before we continue here. All right, Libras. Let's pull one more. Yeah, okay, I like this though, actually. I really do like this. There's been a lot of tens coming up in April. Again, not very surprised with the state of the world. And again, there's major cycles being closed out. A lot of situations that we were once very comfortable in, that once, were there, no longer there. And again, I feel for some of you with the Ten of Swords reversed, you could be pulling out the swords of betrayal, swords of pain. This is a great time also for healing this month. So again, your theme this month is removing those 10 swords, making necessary endings, letting things go that have really hurt you, especially mentally. What are the mental wounds that you're holding on to? The way that what you feel that you owe to people, what you feel guilty about because you can't give them because you're not doing. I think for a lot of you, you might be living your life according to somebody else and to please other people, to make other people feel comfortable and stable. But I just feel that, and I feel like this has been coming for a really long time. For you guys, I feel like we've been hitting on this message for a while, that you need a major change in your life and you're really not happy with where you're at. Yeah, it's fine, it's good, you're doing whatever, you might even be making some decent money and getting some decent opportunities, but there's something off here, and there's something that isn't working for you, and you would really like to flip the situation here with the Magician. Know that you do have all of the tools, all of the knowledge, all of the skills, everything that you need this month to make this change, and that nothing is stopping you but what you believe is stopping you. Okay? And those are your attachments. Okay? Your attachments stop you. Yep. They stop you from making a change, from really seeing things the way you need to see them. You have a cramped vision and a fear of change here. Okay? There's stagnation if you don't start making these changes, making these moves, and seeking out more. And for a lot of you, again, I just feel like there's I don't know, I'm just getting the sense that somewhere else in the world is calling you. You want to be somewhere else rather than where you are. Not even like in a vacation sense. You think that life would be better somewhere else. And you might be right. But the more you cramp your vision into this tiny box to appease all of the people that gain from you staying exactly where you are and doing exactly what you're doing and saying, you're really good at this, Libra, you should just continue doing this, you should stick in this for a while. Yeah, it'd be really great to just constantly listen to other people, Libra, of course, but you have to remember, as being a sign that's all about harmony and relationships, you have to harmonize the relationship with yourself first. And you can't be saying, oh, well, they say it's a good idea, and, this is going to work for them right now, and it makes them happy to see me do these things, whether it's family, a partner, again, even just workmates or friends. They might all be gaining something from you staying there and doing these things, but you don't know what's on the other side of change unless you go for it, and unless you start acting in ways and making decisions that are best for you and you only. Yeah, wow. You have to face some truth and take some responsibilities. I'm not even sure whether this came up right or reversed, so we're going to talk about it both ways. But when the Justice card is there, first of all, this is your card. This is the card that represents you here. But Justice really, you are being tolerant with people in situations where you don't need to be anymore. And it's time to bring out the truth. It's time to let things be as they are, to say what needs to be said. In Aries season, especially with Mercury moving into Aries, I believe it's April 11th. Let me check my astrology that I wrote down over here. Yeah, we have Mercury moving into Aries, and that's a lot of fiery energy, provocations. And actually right before that, just a few days before, on April 7th, we have a really big square happening with Mars and Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus. And that's going to bring up a lot of individuality, defending your individuality, defending who you are, what your views are, what you want. Aries season is always about I am. And there's a lot of interesting conjunctions, squares, things happening this month that are really heightening that. This is me, and I'm tired of living my life according to you because it makes you feel comfortable and happy. Yeah, it might give me the health insurance, it might give me the benefits, but am I happy? No, and I know I can get more. I know that I would be happier elsewhere doing something else. So it's time to be really honest with yourself about what you are sacrificing in order to appease other people in your life, in order to... It's a lot like Leo's reading, actually. Even though theirs is more about social situations, I think this has a lot to do with career, work, and your life path for you. You've become, as Libras often do, this, how do I say this? I'm going to say, I guess, kind of the same thing I said for Leos, where you have a cart, you got 4 wheels on this wooden cart, and you're that centerpiece that's holding it all together. That cart wouldn't go anywhere without you. And everybody knows that except you. So it's time to remove your cart from all the wheels and watch them turn around and then fall to the ground, because they can't run without you and you don't owe them anything. And I'm going to say this a lot of the same things I think that came up in the Leo reading, even though I definitely feel it pertains to totally different situations. This is a lot less about love and a lot more about what makes you happy, what makes you you. It could also have to do with relationships. As you know, Aries is your opposite sign. There's a lot of 7th house stuff there, but that's going to be more for Libra risings. So again, go check out your rising sign and see how it resonates. But to me, this really feels like you need to be very clear about who you are and what you want out of this world, and to no longer get stuck in this cramped vision and this fear of what happens when I change, what happens when I say what I really want to do, what happens when I take responsibility for my own desires, my own happiness. Don't fear these things. I find, and in a lot of people like to point fingers at Taurus and say we don't like change and all this stuff. We don't hate change. We're just a lot more patient about it. And I feel that Venus ruled signs get comfortable, get stable, get especially physically comfortable in a place, and with relationships, people, things that we like, especially things that we can buy that make us feel safe, that make us feel satiated for the moment. But you can't let that stop you. You can't let the fear of not having those things, having those people, having that security blanket be there. Okay? 7 of Cups, it's time to explore. What do you want to do? What cup really calls to you? Because the one that we've chosen obviously isn't for us anymore. This is a very fantasy illusion place here, and that's not bad to be in right now. I know that we do have, what is that we also got going on here? A really big conjunction, Jupiter and Pluto and Capricorn. There's going to be a lot of long-term progress there, and we're going to need to really evaluate our ethical stance on a lot of things, our commitments to a lot of things. Okay. There's a lot of things going on this month, but regardless, it's time to, focus on this. 7 of Cups might be confusing, but also your goals and again, this is a month, I feel like, especially as we enter the astrological New Year's, a lot of people's goals need to change and shift. And with this whole, universal global pause because of coronavirus and stuff, this is a great time to reevaluate those things, to explore things you enjoy and to really look into it, talk to people who do those things, research it, write things down, watch videos on it, and reevaluate what you want your 4 of Wands to look like, your perfect home, happy family. What is balanced to you? Because when you look at what is balanced, you look at what it brings, that balance, brings that happiness, brings that feeling of joy, that feeling of I just stepped over the finish line into victory. What's going to bring you that? And what do you see as, again, you're through the glass ceiling here. What you can't seem to reach right now, but you want to get to. It's not unreachable. You can get there. You need to seek out, again, what these cups all mean to you. Explore things, explore your passions, explore what brings you happiness, and you will figure that out. You might have to leave a situation. You might fear money. You might fear stability right now, but you are backed by family, by friends, and your own talents. And the more you believe you can't make that jump, make that leap, the more you can't, and the more that you won't, but you can. You have to trust and have faith in your own abilities, Libra. Because when you start going out there and looking for something, it's coming right back to you. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. But you have to follow your own heart. Your own creative juices are flowing here. And there is quite a bit of cups in combination with earth energy, in combination with you right in the center, being able to discern things in a very clear-cut way this month. And I would say take out the emotional commitments to others and what makes them happy, what makes them feel comfortable and good and safe about your decisions. It doesn't matter. They'll be fine. You have to remember that. If they can't take care of themselves, that's really not your problem. What am I going to say? You're an adult. Again, Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. It feels to me that at the end of this month you have offers coming in. So put it out there, start searching, start exploring, start reaching out, communicating, doing all this fun stuff, and figuring out, you know, what here needs to change and what you've been afraid to change your cramped vision and let it grow. Take responsibility for what you really want out of life and chase it. It's coming right back to you. And in terms of love, I think you'll be very surprised that you are supported where you didn't feel supported before. If you were afraid to talk about this, if you were afraid to communicate in a relationship what you need to change and what you're considering doing with your life and what you really want out of it, you'll be very surprised to find where you thought there was no support, that there is a lot of support. They might say, oh, I'm worried about money, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. But you know what? You have to remember that you're a Libra. Libras never have to worry about money. You guys are like, you're the type of parent that that does everything for their child to the point where they don't know how to do things. Okay? That's the type of person Libras are. And I'm not just talking about parents, in relationships, in all aspects. You guys tend to make it easy for everybody else because you take on that place. So if people start saying, you know, your partner's like, well, I'm afraid of this, or maybe we'll have to be apart for a while if you're taking this job somewhere else, if you want to move there, how are we going to do it? What about money? What about this? Don't worry. It all kind of falls into place. The Sun, the Three of Cups. You might have worried also that they would leave you, that they would run away, but the Sun and the Three of Cups is saying all the right people will still be there. And if this person really loves you, they will celebrate you. They will celebrate that this is something that you want to do with your life and that you can chase your dreams. And I do think, again, you will be very surprised if you thought this person wasn't going to support you and they were going to drive your dream into the ground and crush it in their hands and make you feel like it wasn't possible. Also remember, if you are in a relationship like that, drop them. You're a Libra. Why are you waiting? You have so much potential here. You can take this exactly where you want to take it and further. You can make your dreams come true. You have everything that you need other than the mentality that you do, the realization in yourself, the confidence in yourself, the confidence in your ability to cut ties and to not let other people's, plans for you take over your life and what you actually want to do. Don't let other people's wants and desires for how they want to see you live, how they want to see, I just want you to be happy. I just want you to be fulfilled. If they're stopping you and you're telling them this is what's going to make me happy, they don't want that for you. And you have to look very hard at who's really supporting you and who's saying they're supporting you. You've got a lot of really good friends if a relationship doesn't support you that you can fall back on right now. However, again, I really want to say I don't feel that if you're in a relationship, a marriage, etc., I don't think they're not going to support you. I think if anything, this is a new adventure and you should be excited that they are going to back you. And you might be worried about money, be worried about, separation if you have to spend time apart, etc. But it's like it all comes together so beautifully, and only you can see how that happens if you go for it. So reach for the stars this month and don't be afraid to do what you want with your life and not give a shit about what anybody else has to say, think, feel, or do, because you are deciding to do something for yourself here. If you're like, oh my God, this company's going to totally fold if I leave, let them fold. They shouldn't be relying on you that much anyways. Oh my God, Libra. Don't take on other people's responsibilities to that degree. Let's pull a Lynn V. Andrews Power Deck card. Ooh, it's coming right out here. Aspiration. So, aspiration. Let's check this guy out here. Aspiration stimulates power. It is your aim spiritually and physically in the world and involves the totality of your being. Without the balance between the physical and the spiritual, aspiration is a hollow accomplishment. It is like a spirit lodge at the dome of which are your ceremonies and rituals. But the spirit lodge must have a strong foundation of capability, trust of those around you, and responsibility. Aspiration is what builds the spirit lodge of power. It is the architect of your accomplishments and sits at the feet of power, as the deer stands before the remnants of an ancient and powerful civilization. Keep your heart open, kind, and loving, so that the energy of the universe can move freely through you. It is difficult to aspire without judgment, but judgment limits you and puts a fence around your consciousness. Give much consideration to all of your choices in life and a free flow to your process of aspiration. What a perfect flaw. That message slapped. Go and listen to that anytime you start to feel frustrated or a lack of support, or if you feel, other people's situations are still holding you back from your aspirations. let them flow freely, and stop letting other people tell you who you should be, how you should be living your life, and what's practical and best for you. Okay, you know what's best for you. You're a Libra. Goddamn, right? All right, I love you guys. So here are the announcements here for the month. So I am taking 20% off of all of my readings for the time being until this whole coronavirus thing ends and things kind of get back on track. I just think it'd be more helpful for me to be able to offer readings at a discounted price at this time. So enjoy that, guys. All the info is below on booking. If you want to get 30% off of your astrology chart, your natal chart, your compatibility readings through Truly Divine, which are literally incredible. I cannot stress enough that those are the best charts and compatibility reports that I've ever gotten. I could not believe how much in-depth, information they went into, how it can help you. They gave you all sorts of amazing things. So it was really incredible, and I truly suggest checking out Truly Divine and using the code DQ30 at checkout to get 30% off, okay? Also, I'm doing a giveaway until April 13th. You can get a reading to enter, or you can share a video, a screenshot, on social media, how you shared it, and then email me, and you'll be entered into the contest to win this cool wire wrapped bone ring, some crystals, and a personalized spell sachet for you made by me. So to enter again, just share a video on social media, screenshot it, email me, or book a reading, okay? Thank you again so much for all of your support, guys. I love you, my Libras. Have a wonderful and blessed April. Namaste.